Hello friends and family of the internet, welcome back to Starkey Farmstead. So my name is Samantha and I have an amazing video for you. So I'm still digging into what is going on in our country. Just the other day in Colorado Springs, there was a bust at an underground illegal nightclub. Come to find out, more than a dozen United States active duty military were present, either as patrons inside of the club or as armed security. Now, recently I've been digging into whether or not sheriff's officers and deputies could be involved in gang-affiliated activities. The reason I say that is because during this investigation, they realized there had been 170 phone calls to the Colorado Springs Police Department saying shots fired, illegal gang activity. We're watching people deal drugs at the place that was raided 2 days ago. And yet, Colorado Springs Police Department did not ever go check on any of the 170 phone calls that were made. So that tells me one of two things. Either you're totally incompetent or you're in bed with the devil.
Drugs on display, shots fired, 170 calls that went unanswered by the Colorado Springs Police Department. Now it's interesting. Colorado Springs, unlike Denver, is not a sanctuary city. But clearly, they're not interested in cleaning up their own excrement when they don't respond to 170 calls. People, we should all be concerned as Americans right now. Every one of us. And if you do not think that Donald Trump's on the right path of getting criminal illegal aliens out, now what should we do with these dozen military? Well, if they're providing security for terrorists, and that's the gangs that have been identified associated with this, that's treason.
So that was my friend Dave Hodges, and he nailed that on the head, folks. It is treason what our military did. Now the question is, are the police involved? Because remember, last year during the Aurora incident, where all the illegal gangs that were actually there in Aurora basically taking over apartment buildings of citizens of the United States. The mayor confirmed it, and then here's what the police department said about it.
Aurora Mayor Mike Kaufman said just on Friday that he believes these buildings should be shut down. Take a look at this video. This came to us on Wednesday, showing armed men breaking into multiple apartments at the Edge at Lowry apartment complex shortly before a shootout happened in the parking lot. This led to the belief that a gang had taken over the apartment complex. But here is Aurora Police Chief Heather Morris.
We've been talking to the residents here and learning from them to find out what exactly is going on, and there's definitely a different picture. I'm not saying that there's not gang members that don't live in this community, but what we're learning out here is that gang members have not taken over this complex.
So here we have another example of the police department ignoring what is directly in front of their face. Gang members, shootouts, drugs, breaking and entering. Oh, we don't have a gang problem. Not here in Aurora. Not here in Colorado Springs. No, and El Chapo's not going to be broke out of his Supermax prison. No worries. Just go back to sleep, America. By the way, folks, this is what got me demonetized. Me pointing out the hypocrisy of the Democrats and the liberals. Folks, we haven't been paid a penny in almost 8 weeks for the work that we have done on this channel. So I really need you guys to look at the top of comments, choose whichever money app you want to use, send whatever you can, because every dollar helps. Now we can't forget that 60,000 tons of ammonium nitrate just disappeared from a Cheyenne rail car that was, it left Cheyenne April 12th. It was on its way to California, and somewhere along that route, all of it disappeared. Now, I dug into that. And do you guys know they tried to claim that it slowly leaked out of the rail car on its way to California? Nope, it wasn't stolen. It was a leak. All of it just poof, gone. Now, the same company that was responsible, the same rail yard, let me show you what else happened there. In 2017, Dino's Cheyenne facility did not report 2 different occasions when Anhydrris disappeared. Now, they called it a leak, but if you don't know what Anhydrris is used for, a lot of large farms use it for fertilization. However, it is the top ingredient in the manufacturing of methamphetamines. Now, when you're talking about illegal gang activity, in these areas specifically of Wyoming, Utah, Colorado, they're all right there together, folks. It makes you wonder, was it a leak or was it stolen anhydrous to feed to the illegal gang activity with their drugs, with their people? Folks, this is all tied together. Look, you can't make it up. The connections are right there. You've got illegal aliens purchasing thousands of rounds of high-powered rifle cartridges, and they're transporting them across the United States from Utah and Cheyenne, Wyoming, to the same place, Pueblo, Colorado, which is only, 60 miles south of Colorado Springs. You've got police departments ignoring and downplaying the involvement of gangs in their communities, ignoring the calls of the people. Yesterday, I showed you a video talking about how bad the crime is now in Pueblo, which used to be a peaceful, beautiful little town nestled in Colorado. Now it is the epicenter of gang activity. And as you dig further, you realize that some of the people that were arrested in Colorado Springs at the nightclub bust 2 days ago are affiliated with El Chapo's original gang. And if you look at where El Chapo is being held in Colorado, it is in Florence, Colorado, okay? At a Supermax prison. Again, look at this map. Look how close Florence is to Pueblo. And both of these being 60 miles south of Colorado Springs. Ooh, now you're starting to see. You either see the pieces on the board, or you don't. But once you see it, you can't unsee it. Because see, this is something that's new to me, is I did not realize that the Banditos, which is pretty much, it's a Latino gang, originated in the Los Angeles Police Department. It was police officers that started the gang. You can't make this up. And over the years, they have found that fraternities of police deputies, or in almost every state, they have had multiple lawsuits against them for harassment, for hazing, for illegal activities, especially against minority communities. So folks, we have to be aware of the fact that these fraternal order of police are really just legal gangs, if you want to call them that they're in every city. And if you're in a small town and you're noticing the uptick of illegal aliens in your community, the first thing you should check is your police department. If you're making phone calls and reporting instances and nobody's showing up to check it, go over their head. Reach out to Kash Patel. Reach out to Pam Bondi. Start calling the FBI, Homeland Security, the CIA, whatever you have to do, the ATF. Folks, if your local police department is not responding to the threat, you have to go over their head. You could reach out to your state attorney general. If they don't do anything, reach out to the FBI office in your state. Reach out to the ATF office in your state. But please understand that your small town may be a big part of what's coming, because small towns don't have the manpower. You understand what I'm saying? It's easy to hide something, and you need a needle. You want to hide it, you put it in a haystack. Okay? So, small towns are going to be a big part of what's coming, mark my words. So you need to be prepared to bunker down, because it's going to be the first 48 hours. If you can survive anything for the first 48 hours, folks, you're going to survive all the way through. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think.